Welcome to Unlocked Mental Performance, Physical Results. I'm Coach Eric, and today we're going to jump into slump busting. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of content for one day. And it is. It's way too much content for one day. It's really many, many hours of work to get out of a slump. So we're not going to try to tackle everything you can do today. What we're going to do today is we're going to touch on what a slump really is, give you some quick ways to get out of it. And then we're going to have some future episodes where we're going to get even more tools, more in depth on how you can get out of your slumps. Now, the first thing you have to understand is that if you're in a slump, that's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. I'm not going to tell you it's a good thing. But slumps, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but slumps are not failure. Slumps are feedback. If you're in a slump, the first thing that tells you is that you're good at something. You're good at it. You cannot be in a slump if you're bad. So, at some point, you performed up here, you hit the slump, and now you're down here. Well, you can climb back up. And that's what we're going to talk about here today and over a couple more episodes after this. So, why? Why does it happen? Well, it's not a talent problem. It's not. You have the talent to perform up here, and you have the talent to get back to here if you have the work ethic, if you have the desire. Sometimes when you drop to here, you're like, nah, okay, that's fine. Then you don't need to bust out of this slump. You need to find something else to do or just be okay with where you're at. But if you're like me and like most athletes that are listening to something like this, you're down here going, I want to get up here. I want to get up here. Like, wait, way up, Coach Eric, above the screen. I'm climbing, I'm climbing, I'm climbing. So you've established you're good at something. You've established you want to climb out of this hole. Talent's not the problem. Now, that's not to say that becoming more skilled and more talented won't help you, but what it tells you is you need to look somewhere else to identify the source, the problem that is giving you that slump. So maybe it's a mismatch. Maybe you don't quite have the right amount of load or attention or recovery. Maybe you aren't doing the great warm up that you need to do, or you're not preparing your body physically. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe it's just a natural part of the process. In a lot of sports, quantity is required to reach the average that you want to have. If you're playing basketball, you've got to take a lot of threes to establish being a 30 or 40% shooter. If you've taken 10 threes and you've made one, that hurts. You feel like you're in a slump. No one wants to pass you the ball. The coach doesn't want to put you in. You're feeling awful. But that's just 10 shots. Over the course of the season, you should be taking a lot more than that. And if you make your next 3 or 4, all of a sudden, you're statistically right where you want to be. So you have to understand what it is that is really happening here. Are you truly, truly slumping? Is this a big drought? Is it a little drought? Once you've established that, you know how hard and deep you need to dive in order to fix it and climb back out. How deep is the hole? Step back and evaluate it. Ask yourself, this feels bad, but how bad is it? Self-evaluation, self-awareness is a big part of overcoming the obstacles that are slumps. So you look at the pattern. Is there a rising pressure? Are you feeling with every single strikeout, with every single ground out, with every single missed shot that you're just not good enough? Are you feeling pressure from the outside? Is the pressure on the inside? Find where that pressure is. Narrow down your attention, right? Once you've kind of established where the pressure is coming from, then you can start looking in at the cures and the solutions for it. And how are you going to do that? Well, we've said it's not talent, but you can improve your skills and that'll help you get out. So where is it really? There's Coach Eric hitting a slump. Where is it? It's up here. It's up here. Coach Eric stumbled and bumbled because he looked it over here at his notes to make sure he's hitting his bullet points, tried to do a little much, feels the clock ticking in the back of his head because he doesn't want this episode to get too long, and he missed his mark. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going through. So the first thing you have to do is be self-aware. And one of the best tools for being self aware is your ABCs. This is something that has been taught by Dr. Tom Hansen for years as part of Play Big, and it's very applicable to us. So, what you have to do, you have to act. That's the A, right? You have to act like your big self. You have to act like the best you when you get to a situation. Well, but coach, I'm not the best me. Right. You've heard fake it till you make it. You've heard a lot of different versions of this, but the truth of the matter is you want to dress for success, dress for the job you want, act the part of the player you want to be. And this works in all parts of life. You go into that test feeling more confident, you're more likely, you have a higher percentage chance being successful. You take this at bat saying, don't strike out, don't strike out, don't strike out. Your mind is hearing strike out, strike out, strike out. But if you go up there going, I got this guy. I know he likes to pitch backwards. He's going to come with that soft breaker right off the bat. I'm going to get on it this time. You got a lot better chance of getting there. So act like the best you. Breathe. When you're your best, you're not tight. No, you're doing your breath. You're maybe your body still slumping today, guys. I'm telling you. Trying to do an episode on slump busting. I don't have my A game. We're busting through this though. So maybe you got to do some box breathing. I did box breathing before I sat down in this chair because I knew I wasn't quite right today. Help me get ready to do this episode. And then I have to commit. You have to lock in on a controllable. Don't worry about all that stuff you can't control. Lock in on the controllable. You know what you have to do in this task and act like the best you would act to attack what you are committed to. You got to do your ABCs. There's worksheets that can help you with that. Hit me up if you need those. It's a really, really powerful tool. Once you've kind of got your ABCs down, once you've kind of got where you need to go with that, you can work in another one of the Play Big Academy's great tools, and that's the traffic light check-in. All right. So at a red light, right? Those are going to be the things that you don't want to do. Those are the things that drag you down. Those are the things that are making the slump feel bad, right? You're stuck. Identify those things, right? Yellow light, not your best, but we're okay. We're looking at this at a grade scale. We're talking about C's, right? You're hesitant. You're. I'm making sound effects here because, be honest with you here, this is a yellow day for me, right? So green, if I was in green, I'd be flowing with you. I'd be giving you my best, my A game. I wouldn't be talking about a slump. I'd be talking about a streak. And your goal is to identify those red lights, identify those yellow lights, identify those green lights, just like you do when you identify how you act in ABCs when you're at your best. And what you want to work on is how to get those red lights to yellow lights. Get away from those bad attributes, those bad actions, those things that have you stuck in the mud, and get them down to yellow. Now that's tough. That's a really difficult transition. Much, much, much more often, you're going to be working on getting those yellows down to greens. And that's how you avoid the big slump. So when you're in the little slump, it feels bad because you're 2 for 10, you're batting 200 over the last 10 at bats. That's a little slump, right? Now 2 for 30, we're talking about you're stuck in that red trying to get to yellow just so that you can then work to get to green. If you're sitting at 2 and 10 and it doesn't feel good, last couple of games have been rough. Well, identify that. Let's work on the mechanics of that. And let's work on getting you from that yellow to the green. And let's do that in coordination with our ABCs because they work so well together. If you can identify the actions that are red and you can identify the actions that are green, you also know what your little me is. You know what your big me is. And you can visualize those actions, those activities to help you see what you look like when you're at your best and how you act and how you breathe and how confident you are when you're big. Now, I'm going to scroll here for just a minute. Here's the thing. it's not all on you. It's not all you, the player. And parents, it's not all on your player. And coaches, it's really, really, really not on your player. Some of this is on you. How can you help the player? How can you incorporate what they need to do with their ABCs, what they need to do with their stoplights to get better? Well, before the game, talk to your player. Ask them what their anchor phrase is. And we'll get more into that next episode, but ask them what that is so that you can use that. During the game and during the cheering process, during the instruction process, talk about breathing, talk about effort, talk about the target, not just the goal. Talk about the process, not just the results. Work with them in the mindset of growth, because that's what they need as a player to be thinking of. They can't just be thinking about whether or not they're going to hit the ball. They have to think about getting into the batter's box, because if they don't do the process, the results aren't going to be there. And try your very best. And look, I'm bad about this too. We're all bad about this, but avoid judgment. Focus on building clarity. Celebrate their resets. When you see a player have a mistake, the first thing as a coach or a parent, your instinct to do is to pound them for it. How many times you can't boot that ball? We got to get that out. You can't strike out in that situation. We have to get that runner in from third. Oh my gosh, how did you miss a three? You should never take threes. Winners don't miss foul shots. Winners don't miss tackles. Winners lead their receivers. Winners look the ball into their hands. Winners, 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 winners. That's about results. Avoid that. When you've got a player in a slump, the last thing they need to focus on is the results. So avoid that judgment. Build the clarity. When you see that player take a box breath, when you see that player reset in the field, go with it. Go with it and celebrate that, because they need that more than you can possibly imagine. So next time, we're going to dive more into the language of tools that are going to help you flip that pressure into performance. We're going to try to do that quickly. And we're going to work on ways to do things like anchoring and reframing. And don't worry, there's even more coming beyond that. We'll get to the big buster tool too. So stay tuned. Join me here on Unlock, and we're going to teach you how to bust some slumps.
Up to the plate, feeling the weight. The crowd's cheering loud, but it's up to fate. Struck out too many times, doubts creeping in, but he knows in his heart it's time to begin. He remembers the lessons, the words that they say. Keep your head up high, don't let fear lead the way. Act, take a swing, let the bat on the talk. Chest high, walk the walk. Breathe in deep, let the pressure unlock. You are focused, ready to rock. Commit to the moment, let the past fade away. Get back in the game, you're ready to play. The sun's shining bright, he's feeling the heat. With every deep breath, he's back on his feet. Visualizing success, he's got a new plan. With the tools from Play Big, he's a brand new man. He knows it's a journey, not just a quick fix. With patience and practice, he'll find his own mix. Act, take a swing, let the back of the talk. Chest high, walk the walk. Breathe in deep, let the pressure unlock. You are focused, ready to rock. Commit to the moment, let the past fade away. Get back in the game, you're ready to play. Every setback crack's a lesson, every strike's a chance to rise up stronger, to take a new stance. With the crowd on his side, he's ready to show. With the ABCs in his heart, he's ready to go. Take a swing, let the back do the talk. Chest high, walk the walk. Breathe in deep, let the pressure unlock. You are focused, ready to rock. Commit to the moment, let the past fade away. Get back in the game, you're ready to play. So here's to the slumps, the struggles we face. With courage and commitment, we'll find our own place. Every new inning is a chance to rise. Chase the champion spirit to the skies. Every new inning is a chance to rise.